Good afternoon. The jury has finished discussing the case today. They'll return tomorrow at 9. Today they went through some of the testimony and video evidence from the trial to determine whether the 18-year-old is guilty or not guilty in the shooting of 3 people, 2 of whom died.
High-stakes Kyle Rittenhouse trial, jurors sending a note to the judge asking this question.
Do we view videos in private or in courtroom?
The jury allowed to rewatch video privately in the jury room from that fatal August 2020 night when Rittenhouse shot 3 people, killing 2 of them.
We have our laptop ready to go, plugged into the system, so if they give us any numbers that they want to see, we should be able to pull them up for them.
The defense against playing this drone video again. Prosecutors argue it shows Rittenhouse provoking by putting down a fire extinguisher and raising his gun. Rittenhouse claims he was acting in self-defense. He's facing 5 charges, including homicide.
We, the defense, has a real problem with them seeing the drone footage. If they want to see that, that's just tainting this jury more.
Defense attorneys have filed a motion for mistrial due to prosecutorial misconduct, partially because they say the state provided them with a lower quality version of that drone video. Meantime, 500 National Guard members on standby as the city awaits a verdict. Rittenhouse is facing life in prison if convicted on the most serious charge, first-degree intentional homicide. Rena Roy, ABC News, Kenosha, Wisconsin.
One of the men charged in connection with the death of Ahmaud Arbery in Georgia took the stand in his own defense today. Travis Mcmichael told the court, "I want to give my side of the story. I want to explain what happened and to be able to say what happened from the way I see it."
Did you ever have anybody going through your things in the neighborhood or have any crime happening to you back in that September 18, October, November, and moving into 19?
I did. Right at the first, I started having my truck was actually broken into, or it was open. You see stuff was scattered around. Nothing was taken, didn't think anything of it. And then by February
of what year?
Of 2019.
Okay.
I bought a little car to drive back and forth to work, and it was broken into numerous times.
Travis Mcmichael is among 3 men charged in connection with the shooting death of Ahmaud Arbery. As he jogged through a neighborhood, Arbery was not armed. The House censured Arizona Representative Paul Gosar today. Censure is not removal from office, but a form of disapproval. Along with censure, members remove Gosar from 2 committees on which he sits. Gosar released a violent anime or cartoon video depicting the death of a colleague and violence against the president.
What I believe is unprecedented is for a member of House leadership of either party to be unable to condemn incitement of violence against a member of this body.
I rise today to address and reject the mischaracterization, accusations from many in this body that the cartoon from my office is dangerous or threatening. It was not.
That vote along party lines, but Representatives Adam Kinzinger of Illinois and Liz Cheney of Wyoming voted for censure. Steve Bannon is pleading not guilty in the criminal contempt of Congress charges against him. That's according to a notice filed in federal court today. The notice came in advance of a hearing set for tomorrow morning. The virtual status conference scheduled for the morning would then be a simple check-in with the judge to discuss timing and other procedural steps in that case. Bannon appeared in court on Monday following his arrest. He is not detained. We will now turn to the forecast. Meteorologist Dan Breeden here with a look, Dan, at more fall weather. Imagine that, huh?
Yeah, imagine that. We had quite strong winds. Now, this is the time of the year when that sort of things happen. The storms tend to be stronger as we head into the cold season. That's certainly the case for the rest of this week as the winds are going to continue quite brisk. 24 miles per hour on average right now in the immediate La Crosse area, generally from the west to northwest, keeping our temperatures pretty seasonal. Some of the highest wind gusts, though, just recently, 36 miles per hour in La Crosse, up to 43 miles per hour in Rochester. Afternoon highs for today, pretty close to the seasonal, or actually just slightly above the seasonal averages for this time of the year. I'll have more on the upcoming trends coming up in just a bit. Dave?
All right, Dan, thanks. Health officials announced today 100,000 Americans died in a one-year period ending in April 2021. The cause? Drug overdoses. The CDC released the numbers early this morning. It's the highest number recorded in a single year period. Experts say the total was increased by the pandemic and a supply of more dangerous drugs. Overdose deaths have risen over the last 2 decades. Viterbo University hosted a discussion today about mental health and support for younger people who struggle with it. The discussion, sponsored by the Crosse Interfaith Leaders Coalition. 3 panelists who provide youth support discuss social media, drugs, the pandemic, and social issues, and the effects they have on youth. Panelists also discussed how to respond to these issues and what programs are available.
Parents, guardians, teachers, adults just need to be having more conversations with youth today. I think just helping youth get back to practicing some of those social emotional skills that are so important to becoming a pro-social adult in this world.
Todd Robbins discussed the research that shows undiagnosed mental illness and trauma have been proven to have negative effects on the future of those people who suffer with it. The panelists agreed that when trying to educate teens or discuss mental illness, that first trust has to be built, and urging parents to talk with school officials or counselors.